you're just tuning in, you are welcome. This is 100% Woman on Royal FM 95.1 Ilori, and the topic of discussion today is the unspoken pressure to be that strong woman. The unspoken pressure to be that strong woman. And yeah, we have our topic dissected into three as usual, and the first one will be looking into the image of the strong woman, the second one we have the cost of always being strong, and the third one we have redefining strength. And so, speaking of the image of the strong woman, would like to check on who a strong woman is. So, who is a strong woman according to society's expectation? When I was speaking earlier, I mentioned that the reason I would lay emphasis on that strong woman is because we are not just talking about the regular strength, we are talking about the expectation, or should I say the unrealistic expectation of women to be strong. So yeah, that's the reason. So now we want to know what a strong woman according to society's expectation is. And yeah, if you ask me, I would say that, what does society expect of a strong woman, or what is society's definition, or of the society's definition of a strong woman, is someone who, or a woman that swallows up pain without complaint. A woman that swallows up pain without complaint. A woman that, is expected to bounce back from any form of pain. A woman that is expected to go through tedious activities without complaining that she's tired. I feel like, even though it might not be said directly this way, there's just that kind of subtle expectation in everybody's head. And so that's when we have situations where you're like, oh, I'm tired, I can't do certain chores today, and somehow someone is looking at you with that judgmental eye. They are not saying anything particular, they are not giving any words or calling any names, but you can see that judgment in their eyes. You can see that judgment in their eyes, like, are you serious? That's screaming lazy. So as much as it might not be something that is spoken of, it might not be something that, comes out of your mouth like, oh, I think this person is lazy. Somehow there's just that expectation, that unrealistic expectation that, oh, you're not expected to be tired, you're not expected to be burnt out. Some certain ridiculous standards of you should be able to balance a lot of things as a woman. And so when you're like, oh, I'm running a business, and at this point I won't be able to show up for certain things other than my business. That's, I mean, showing up fully rather for certain things, or there are certain ways they want you to show up, and you won't be able to give that maximum attention to that. You'd not so not so directly, but there's just always that subtle thing of, it might not be spoken of so loudly, but there's that thing of, there's that judgment. Oh, she's lazy. Oh, as a woman, I don't think she has strength. As a woman, she should be able to exude strength. As a woman, she should be able to balance things. So it's just unrealistic expectations, ridiculous standards that have been set for women, even if they are not things that are being spoken about frequently, or something that people are so loud on. So the question of the day, the question for this afternoon is: have you ever felt pressured to be a strong woman, even when you know that your strength couldn't take up that much at that time? Have you ever felt the pressure to be a strong woman, even when you know that your strength couldn't take up much at that time? So the number is to call on. The call line is 0810 850 1371. I'll take that again. 0810 850 1371, and you can send in your messages on WhatsApp. You can respond to this question. Let me take the question again before calling out the WhatsApp number. The question is, have you ever felt pressured to be a strong woman even when you know that your strength couldn't take up that much at the time? You can send in your responses on WhatsApp via 0916 737 5588. 0916 737 5588. Let's have some discussion. Let's have some discussion. Join the discussion this afternoon. And if you're just joining us, this is 100% Woman on Real FM 95.1 in Loring. You're hanging out with your anchor, God's Desire, the God with the soothing voice here on air but pierces through your heart. So we just spoke about the image of the strong woman. That's like the expectations of the society, what the society defines as a strong woman. And then we talked about the ridiculous standards. When the society talks about a strong woman, it's that woman that is expected to suck a lot of things in without complaint. It is that woman that is expected to swallow a lot of pain without, talking. It is that woman that dares not say that she's tired, dares not say that she needs help. And yeah, that was exactly what led us to the question of the day. Have you ever felt pressured to be a strong woman when even when you know that your strength couldn't take up much at the time? The call line 0810 850 1371. Send your messages on WhatsApp 0916 737 5588. So let's move to the second point, which is the cost of always being a strong woman. The cost of always being a strong woman according to the society standard. Now, this is before we then move to the actual definition of what a strong woman is, or who a strong woman should be, and not what not ridiculous expectations or ridiculous standards that the society set for women. So now let's talk about the cost of always being a strong woman according to the society's expectation. And yes, it is going to cost you your mental health. It is going to cost you uh physical health, your emotional well-being. It is going to cost a lot. So yes, the cost is your mental, physical, and emotional toll. It costs your mental, physical, and emotional toll. And I feel like I needed to emphasize that a lot. Your mental, physical, and emotional strength is going to drain you, because now you are at the mercy of performing and not living life. You're at the mercy of performing, you're into performance. Now you're not being yourself, you don't even know who you are. And so all you're doing is to want to reach the expectation, or to want to meet the expectation that the society has set for you, and then it keeps you performing. It keeps you constantly performing and not living to your full purpose, not living to the fullness of your capability as a woman. So yes, it takes a toll on your mental, physical, and emotional state. It keeps you pretending, it keeps you performing. Toxic strength can make women feel isolated, unseen, and unsupported. Toxic strength. And I call it toxic because, yes, am I saying that you shouldn't have strength as a woman? No. Or am I saying that a woman doesn't have strength? The fact that you can even birth life, the fact that the most natural or the most common thing expected of a woman's body, that's your menstrual cycle, the one that happens every month, you bleed, that's enough strength. That's like a huge strength. So when I talk about strength, I'm not just saying that, oh, women are not strong. I am saying that the toxic strength that is expected of women, it can make you feel isolated, it can make you feel unseen, it can make you feel unsupported, because at the end of the day, when you're trying so hard to perform, when you're trying so hard to meet the standard that has been set by someone else and not the standard of what you can actually take, right? When you are constantly at the verge to meet up with that, there is a lot is taken up from you. At the end of the day, now you're feeling like you're feeling alone, you're feeling unseen, you're feeling unsupported, because the fact that it is something that someone else is expecting of you, that means sometimes you might not even receive the praise for the performance that you are putting up with. Sometimes you might not receive the actual appreciation that you need for the performance, because it has just been put up as an expectation. And so no one is telling you thank you, no one is telling you that they see you, no one is telling you that, oh, I feel like you need help and I want to render help to you. And that can be very exhausting for you as a woman. Another costs, another cost of always being a strong woman according to society standard is the guilt of asking for help, because somewhere around your mind you're like, oh, this is something that is expected of me. And so if I begin to ask for help because I actually need the help, there's that guilt of, am I really being a woman, am I really being enough? And that's why you see some women, they are working clockwise, like round and round and round, no rest, no help at all, and they feel like it's like a badge of honor. And even when they are tired, they don't want to say that they are tired, because somehow there's that guilt of, that means I'm not meeting my expectation as a woman, that means I'm not meeting my expectation as a mother. The guilt can even come as something as little as, you, a woman, a girl, living a life, and just the littlest thing as, I'm stepping into a restaurant and I want to get food for myself, even with my money, right? And because of this expectation, you see people that are already looking at you like, and she's a girl, and she's a woman, and she's coming to buy food, and she's a girl, can't she cook at home? Those little passive comments already um already testifies to the fact that there is that unspoken standard that the society has set for women. That's like, there's no, you are not permitted to actually look for ways to make your life easier. And so when you now realize that, and you understand that, oh, I need help and I have the right to rest as well, and you start doing it, now you are seen as the rebel. You are seen as the woman who is now rebellious. You're seen as the woman who is now not meeting up to the standard that they have set for you, and so you're not doing enough as a woman. Can we talk about another cost, which is burnout, that is disguised as resilience? So now everyone sees you that you show up every day. Everyone sees you that you do this thing without seeking for help, without asking for help. And right, they're like, oh, she's so resilient, she's so consistent, she is the fact that, oh, what if she's tired? What if she's tired? So another cost of wanting to meet up with the standard of the society, of you being a woman, of you being that strong woman rather, is that people will disguise your burnout as resilience. Your body's telling you that you're tired, you that you are performing, you know that you are tired and you need help, but you don't want to ask for help because of the guilt. And so the entire people see that burnout, that tired person, as a resilient person, but you know that you are burning out constantly. If you're just joining the conversation this afternoon, this is 100% Woman on Royal FM 95.1 Ilori. This is that safe space where we talk everything womanhood. It is that space where we are constantly on a journey to becoming her. And the topic before us this afternoon is the unspoken pressure to be that strong woman. The unspoken pressure to be that strong woman. I already threw out a question this afternoon that, have you ever felt pressured? Have you ever felt pressured to be a strong woman, even when you know that your strength cannot take up that much at the time. Have you ever felt the pressure to be a strong woman? Join the conversation this afternoon by calling us on 0810 850 1371. 0810 850 1371. You can drop your conversation, you can drop your answers, you can join the conversation via WhatsApp on 0916 737 5588. 0916 737 5588. So before you joined, we already picked up on some points. We spoke about the image of the strong woman, according to the society's standard. We also spoke about the cost of always being a strong woman, according to the society's standard. And yeah, some of the things, that describes a strong woman according to the society standard is that uh, you're expected to be strong without complaining. You're expected to swallow a pain without complaint. You are not expected to ask for help because you'll be seen as lazy. You are not expected to seek for ways to make your life easier because that way you are not that trophy woman, you're not that trophy wife, that trophy mother, that trophy person in a woman's body. And we also spoke about some of the costs, of being a strong woman. Some of the things that being a strong woman, according to the society standard, would cost you. And we mentioned that it's going to have a toll on your mental, physical, and emotional health. And, it makes you end up pretending, it makes you end up performing, pretending that everything is okay. It makes you end up performing instead of living life to the fullest and living a life of purpose. And we also mentioned that toxic strength can make women feel isolated, unseen, and unsupported. It makes you feel the guilt of asking for help or simply saying that you are tired. It makes people disguise their burnout as resilience. They mistake your burnout as resilience. And so we're moving to the next point, and that is redefining strength. And this is the topic. This is like a wrap up of the topic for today. Because, yeah, we have a topic before us, which is unspoken pressure to be that strong woman. And of course, everything strong woman here is according to the society standard. But now this third point is taking us to redefining strength, and that is what redefining what actual strength for you as a woman should mean. And the first point here is that redefining strength can mean normalizing vulnerability. Redefining strength can mean normalizing vulnerability. That you're allowed to be vulnerable, you're allowed to state your mind and how you feel actually. You're allowed to say that you're tired. You're allowed to say that you need strength. You're allowed to say that you need help. You're allowed to say that you don't want to do. That at that point you don't want to do some chores, you don't want to be present at this particular time, you don't want to take up some burdens, you don't want to show up for some things, especially when it comes to labor, right? You have that right to be vulnerable, to say that you are tired. Redefining strength can also mean seeking ways to ease your burdens. It can also mean seeking ways to ease your burdens, seeking ways to make your life easier, seeking ways to make your work easier. And of course, I know that, for everyone, for every woman, we do not have the same. Okay, let me just put it in the normal Nigerian term, which is all fingers are not equal. I know that we do not have the same opportunities. We are not all exposed to the same opportunities, but at least the opportunity that is before you, the one that is within your capacity and your capability, right? You should be able to make things, look for ways to make life easier for you. Ways to make life easier for you. That if you are a nursing mom, and you have places to go to, things to attend, you can just check, oh, I might not have the money to take my child to the daycare for for the time that I'm going to be out for, because I won't be able to take this child along with me, or my financial strength would not guarantee that, I would pay for a session at the daycare to put my child. That's absolutely fine. But how about you check within your circle, rather, within your circle, or who are the trusted people, the trusted persons, the trusted family. If it's your mother, if it's your mother-in-law, if it's your sister, if it's a church member, let me just say religious society, if it's maybe a meeting, someone that is trusted. Oh, I don't have that money, I cannot take my child to the daycare where I get to pay. So how about I look for trusted people in my circle, and I'm like, okay, preferably self, even someone that also has a child, and you then put that child there for the number of time, for the time that you're going to be out. That's you seeking for ways within your capacity and your capability to make life easier for you. That way you are dropping, oh, what is the child going to need from this time to this time? You keep it with this person that you are keeping the child with. So for me, at the end of the day, you are not spending money because you don't have that money to spend, and then you are still living the life that you ought to live, or you are still there doing what you ought to do at that particular time, while still getting someone to look after your child even without spending money. So yeah, the explanation, this entire explanation I just made, is just to buttress on the point that we might not have the same opportunities, but you can look for the one within your circle that you can fall back on. Just make your life easy. And you could be a breastfeeding mom and you're thinking of, oh, how do I do it? Probably you're exclusively breastfeeding and you have, the self receive help. So before I spoke about, seeking help to ease your burden. So it's a different thing to actually seek help, and it's a different thing for you to receive that help that you're seeking. A lot of people, even a lot of women, even have people that offer to help them, and of course, with the purest of hearts, they offer to help them. Oh, I want to help with this, I want to help with that, but they have been so soaked in this whole idea of being a strong woman, and they even find it hard to receive help, that the next minute one person is helping with something and they just cannot look away. They are there again saying, oh, it's not this way, oh, this is it, giving instructions on how you want your things to be done, having a particular way you want your things to be done. That is great, but some people just cannot remove their eyes. As long as it's not them doing it with their hands, they are just not comfortable receiving help. So yes, there is seeking help and then there is receiving help. You having strength, or you being a strong woman, can also mean you receiving the help that you need. So yes, redefining strength can also mean, that you get rest that you need. So true strength can also mean rest. True strength can also mean rest. That you know when you are burnt out, you know when you're stressed, you know when you're tired, and you know when you need to help. Rest, rather. You know when you need to rest. And that in itself is strength. And lastly, redefining strength can also mean teaching the next generation that strength is not about suffering in silence. Can I hear the people in the next stall shout that? Yes, redefining strength can also mean teaching the next generation that strength is not about suffering in silence. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to keep quiet. You don't have to swallow pain. You don't have to leave without, being vulnerable. True strength can also mean you enjoying your life. Long and short of it all. Okay, quickly, we have a contribution to the conversation. We have a WhatsApp message to read. This one says, "Hi Desire, my name is Kemi, and I'm joining the conversation from Basin. I'm the first daughter in a family of six, and from as far back as I can remember, I've always been the one everyone looks up to, the one who holds the family together, does the house together when things go wrong, the one who doesn't get to cry because I am the strong one. There are nights I cry quietly so nobody hears me because I feel like if I let it all out, everyone around me will collapse. My siblings depend on me emotionally, my mom leans on me, my friends come to me for advice. But who do I go to? Who checks up on the strong one? Sometimes I just want to rest and not be the fixer, not the mature one, not the one who is emotionally stable. I just want to be human. It's like strength has become my only identity and it's very exhausting." Hi, Kemi. Hello, Kemi. Oh my God, I could feel, I could literally feel every emotions from each lines that you dropped here, from talking about how you are the first daughter, and of course, I know how there's this societal pressure on first daughter, on firstborns. There's just a lot. It's like from when you were born, from when you were growing, there's just that responsibility that has been placed on you as a first child or as a firstborn daughter in an African home. And this is me. This is God's desire here saying that I see you. And I feel every emotions from the lines that you've written. And I'm even saying kudos for the strength to share, because it takes another level of strength to be able to admit that you are tired, that you are exhausted. And that takes us to one of the things that I've mentioned while talking. I spoke about vulnerability, and that in itself can be strength. It can also mean strength. So kudos to you, Kemi. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And I do hope that people will have friends that are seemingly very strong emotionally and they have their foot on the ground. They seem like they're so balanced. Please, as much as they are like your go to pillar for strength, know that they also need strength and try to also show up for them. So thank you for sharing, Kemi. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing your experience. Thank you for being vulnerable enough. If you're just joining the conversation this afternoon, we're glad to have you. This is 100% Woman on Royal FM 95.1 in Lorraine. And you're hanging out with the anchor, Gus Desire, the girl with the soothing voice here on air that pierces through your heart. This is 100% Woman, where we get to share a lot about womanhood, where we are constantly on a journey to becoming her. And the topic for today is the unspoken pressure to be that strong woman. I asked a question today, and it is have you ever felt pressured to be a strong woman even when you know that your strength cannot carry you at the time? You can still join the conversation by calling us on 0810-850-1371, 0810-850-1371. You can send in your answers to the question. You can also join the conversation on WhatsApp via 0916-737-5588, 0916-737-5588. I'd love to read your contributions to the conversation. And we've spoken about a lot of things. We've spoken about a lot of things. We had the topic in the three different segments, and that's the image of the strong woman according to societal standard. We have the cost of always being strong according to societal standards, and we have redefining strength, and that's like for me the most amazing, like the most amazing part for me. It's like the most amazing part for me in the discussion today. And I'm going to be taking it again. I'm going to be reading through each point we made on that of redefining strength. So when it comes to redefinition of strength, I said that redefining strength can also mean that we normalize vulnerability, the ability to be able to say that I am tired, the ability to be able to say that I need to rest, to say that I need help, to receive help. Redefining strength can also mean you seeking ways to ease your burden, ways to make life easier for you, to live a soft life. Of course, within your capacity and your capability. And I already cited an example earlier. Some things for us might cost money, and some other things we could be able to navigate through not spending money but also showing up. Redefining strength can also mean allowing yourself receive help. And I mentioned that there is a difference between seeking help and also receiving help. Some people even have the help, uh, put to them. They have this help offered to them, but the issue is that they cannot receive help. They just cannot take their eyes away from things not being done by them. Maybe we can call it like a perfectionist syndrome. But for some people, it's not even perfection, it's all about performance because they feel that that is what is expected of them and that is what they should do. But guess what? No, it doesn't have to be like that. So, yes, seek help and allow yourself to receive help. Redefining strength, can also mean you resting. So, yeah, true strength can also mean rest. And finally, redefining strength can also mean not even can, it should be us, teaching the next generation that strength isn't just about, is not in suffering in silence, strength is not about suffering in silence. It is not about suffering in silence. And teaching the next generation can also mean you leaving that path now, because sometimes even the next generation might not just be able to learn from something that we say alone, but they'll be able to learn from what they see you doing, because teaching or learning is not just about what you hear, it's also about what you see. So when we're intentional about teaching the next generation that it is strength doesn't have to be you suffering in silence, they also have to see it in you, that you are looking for ways to make your life easier, you're seeking help and you're receiving help. And so they learn not just by what you tell them but what they see you live. Wow, 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 it's been amazing, amazing, amazing conversation. It's been an amazing conversation today, and we've unpacked the weight that comes with, being called the strong woman. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to remember that, being strong doesn't mean being unbreakable. It doesn't mean that, you won't be vulnerable. It doesn't mean that there are not days where you get tired, where you just need help, where you just need to be. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to cry. You're allowed to say, I'm not okay right now. I'm not okay at the moment, and I need all the help that I can get. Real strength is not in pretending, it is in being human. And so, to every woman listening to me right now, you don't have to carry it all alone. Take off that cape, take off that expectation where we celebrate every layer of womanhood, every story, and every truth. Don't forget to join the conversation again next Thursday, 1 p.m. to 1:45 p.m. And as usual, stay growing, stay glowing, and keep being the 100% woman that you are. Bye, guys.
Woman don't suffer, love everybody.
For everyone that used the live chat, thank you, new boy Joan. He said I. Thank you, Akpebe Victory. Thank you, Victory. Thank you, DZ. Thank you, DZN420. Thank you, Pedro. It says I'm beautiful. Thank you, Pedro. I appreciate the kind words. So, for 100% Woman, I'm going to see you again next week, Thursday. We're going live again next week, Thursday, and you get to know the topic when you join live. Thank you. Bye.